In this portion of the lesson, let's learn how to automate a multi-step task. To begin, let's go up to File and Open, and let's navigate back to the Lesson 13 folder and find the Buttons folder. The first one we want to open up is the Gallery 5 JPEG and say Open. Actions give us the ability to record multiple different edits and other actions that you can perform in Photoshop, and then go back and play them again so that you don't have to constantly redo the same thing over and over again. Photoshop will do all of the work for you. In order to set one up, let's go up to our window and locate our Actions folder. If you need, you can drag it down, and I'm going to close out the default actions. Your computer may have some other actions saved to them, and you can close those out as well. We're going to make one from scratch. The first thing we're going to do is to click on the little folder for this one, and let's call this the Buttons Set. This set will create and save all of our actions inside of this folder. To record a new action, let's click on the little plus sign, and we're going to call this resizing. Oops, let's make sure to spell it correctly. Resizing and styling images. And we'll say record. Notice that as you record, the little red record circle is now turned on. Recording doesn't take place in real time. It's only going to start to remember this as you complete each different task. So make sure to do it correctly the first time. So with it still recording, let's go up to Image and let's change the image size. The size of this document needs to be measured in pixels, and we're going to make it 180 pixels by 180 pixels. Do make sure everything is set to be correct, and we'll say OK, and that will resize our document. Notice now, inside of our button, we can open up, and that's the task that we just performed. Now let's go up to Filter and down to Sharpen, and let's do a Smart Sharpen filter. For this one, let's set the amount to be 100% with a radius of 1 pixel, and say OK. Notice now it added that one with all of the different settings for it turned on as well too. Let's go down to our Layers panel and double-click the name of it. Let's rename this layer Button and say OK. Let's go up to Image, down to Canvas Size. Make sure the unit of measure is set to pixels, and we want the canvas to be 220 pixels by 220 pixels. Do make sure that relative is unchecked and the center point is what we have selected, and say OK to that. With the extra room, let's add a layer style to this. Going up to Layer, down to Layer Styles. First thing we'll add is a drop shadow. For this drop shadow, make sure the blending mode is set to multiply with a color of black, opacity of 27, angle can be the same, the distance of 9, spread of 19, and a size of 18. Let's also turn on a stroke by clicking on the word stroke and set a 1-point stroke to the inside that has the same blue color we did last time. Let's say OK to that. With all this done, let's go up to File and do a Save As. Make sure the format is set to Photoshop. We can keep it exactly the same and do Save and say OK. And then finally, let's close out the document we're working on. Now when we do this, notice that it completely gets rid of our work area. But if you click on the little Photoshop icon, this will bring us back into here. And the last thing we need to do is to stop all of the recording that we just did. Click on the little square to stop the recording. Now let's use this little action on the remaining of the different buttons. We'll go to File and Open. File and Open, there we go. Let's choose the remaining ones by holding down the Command key or the Control key and get 6, 7, and 8. We'll say Open. Notice that all three are now open as their own separate documents. And to apply this, we're going to use the batch automation feature. So let's go to File, down to Automate, and let's batch process all of these. In this dialog box, we need to pay attention to each of the different portions of this. First off, choose the type of action that we want to play. In our case, it remembers that we created a new buttons folder, and the new action that we last made was the resizing and styling of it. The source of this doesn't need to be a specific thing. Instead, we want the opened files that are already created. Finally, since we've already saved everything, we don't have to change up any of the save as coordinates. We can keep everything exactly the same. When we say OK, it goes very, very quickly, but automatically it saved each one of these and went through the batch process. Now you should be able to look inside of your folder, in the buttons, and you've got not only a JPEG, but as well a Photoshop document that's already been done. With this done, let's place these files into our working document. Go back and find your working document that we first started on. Now we can go to File and Place Linked and locate the other gallery. Be sure to choose the Photoshop document. So for Gallery 5, Photoshop, and do Place. It'll automatically place it in the center, but we want to be able to move it down here. If necessary, use your arrow keys to nudge it till it's nice and aligned where it needs to be. Repeat this process for the others. File, Place Linked. You can choose your other images, Gallery 6. Let's place Gallery 6 where it needs to be. File, Place Linked. Gallery 7. Right there. And then finally File, Place Linked, Gallery 8. All right, with this done, we can go up to File and save our document. Whoops, excuse me, let's do regular save, File and Save. And you can safely close it out. This new Photoshop document is what you're going to upload to the class page for the first part of this exercise.